Hi, and welcome to Here and There. I'm Jeff Matthews. On this month's episode, we will visit with Judy Lively and Amy Prince. Judy is the retiring executive director of Bethlehem House, and Amy Prince is going to take over for her during the month of November. We'll also visit with Stephanie Brazil, our friend from 501 Life magazine, about a beautiful issue of their magazine that they have out. Also, Levi Gilbert and Tim Roach will be by. They'll visit with Ashley Hutchcraft, head coach of the Lady Cats. They have got an unbelievable schedule coming up, including a trip to Washington, D.C. That's all coming up on Here and There.
You've arrived at your destination.
Welcome back to Here and There. We are joined by Judy Lively. Judy is the executive director of Bethlehem House, and I guess what's more appropriate to say is the retiring executive director of Bethlehem House. Thank you for everything that you've done for a long time. I'm glad that you're here, that we can visit for just a little bit. In your honor, I wore a jacket. Now, last month's show, I didn't wear a jacket, but I wore a jacket this month for you.
Well, you know, I had one laid out, and the blouse and everything, and I thought, Amy always says, dress for the job you want, not the one you have.
Okay.
So I want to be retired, and this is me retired.
Well, it's perfect. Congratulations on your retirement, first of all. It's a career well served. And so I know your story a little bit. It hasn't always been in nonprofit. So tell me how you got to Bethlehem House.
So I worked at Axiom for 23 years. I was trying to decide the other day, is it 23 or 27? So I'm going to say 23, forever. And I don't know, my best friend was on the board at the shelter, and I just really got interested in that. We had a young lady that was living there at the time, a single mom who needed cold medicine and diapers for her baby, and we had contacted the then director and asked her what we could do, and that's what she wanted. So we bought some, and we got the sweetest note back. And I don't know, my heart, I joined the board as a result. And then when this job came open, I was part of the team to interview for it. And everybody we interviewed, I thought, you sound great, but do you care enough? Yeah. You know, are you going to be passionate enough about these people? And finally, I went home one night and talked to my husband and said, I have to apply for this job. Yeah. And he said, okay. And we sat down and figured out financially what we could do. And I went back in and said, after the next interview, I said, okay, I have one more option. And they all kind of looked at me funny. And I said, I want to apply. And I was so excited because I knew all the questions. I mean, there was no way I could fail, right?
Because the teacher gave it the test.
And then they changed the questions. Yeah. But
well, you passed.
So, exactly.
Clearly.
And it was, it's been a wild ride ever since.
So when you took over, where was Bethlehem House at the time? It was not the current location, which we all know on Parkway. It wasn't there?
No, we were at 930 Faulkner in a 100-plus-year-old money trap, as I lovingly call it, with occasional beds falling through the floor and squirrels coming down from the attic. And again, it's been a wild ride, but we that's where we were.
Okay. And the location now on Parkway has been there for how many years?
We have been there 9 years.
Okay. So coming up on 10 years there. It exists for the homeless in our community. It's not always people that are from Conway, but I'm sure sometimes there are people who are in our community that maybe never imagined that they would have needed Bethlehem House. Does that happen?
Absolutely. Okay. Absolutely. You know, one that comes to mind immediately, it's been years ago, was a lady who taught at CBC, and she would often send interns to us. And she developed a chronic illness, couldn't work. She came to me asking about the possibility of her moving in. And we talked a little while, and I hired her part-time. But, I mean, I'm sure that was never on her radar. Yeah. You know, and, I mean, not everybody, I guess, falls from a professional kind of spot, but we definitely have, single parents there that would never have thought they would find themselves in that position.
The face of homelessness isn't what we probably have always thought it was, and so I know as a community we're thankful that you all are there and the work that you've done. I'm gonna get you out of here on one more question, and it's about the lady that's going to come up next. As you hand the reins over to Amy Prince, why is she perfect for this?
I could talk for a while on why she's perfect for this, but this is truly her passion. Bethlehem House has been her passion for years. And, she served on our board. She has worked for us. And she is back in a different role. And, I think about this frequently about Amy, but I truly believe that she was made for such a time as this. Yeah. And I think that her leadership will be different than mine. And I don't think different is bad. No. I think it's good. I think, I've been there 17 years, and I think you kind of get in a rut. And I never wanted to leave doing less than my very best. And I'm excited. Yeah. I'm excited to see her come and change and do and make impacts on the lives of people.
Yeah. Well, you too were made for a time just like this.
Thank you.
Very special work that you've done, and thank you for your leadership that you've provided for a long time.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judy. Good luck in your retirement.
Thanks.
That's awesome.
I'm excited.
When we come back, we will visit with Amy Prince. She is the new executive director of Bethlehem House, about the present of the house and also what the future looks like for a very important part of our community. That's coming up on Here and There.
Hi Conway, this is Jeff Brooks at Brooks Fine Jewelry. Thank you once again for voting for Brooks Fine Jewelry for Best of in Conway. This is the factory store. There's always something new and innovative here at Brooks Fine Jewelry. We can now engrave the nameplates for anybody that wishes to acquire them, and we're here to engrave anything you have. Any items that you wish to engrave, bring them on in. Brooks Fine Jewelry is now exhibiting original art and limited edition prints by Patrick Shane Wilson. So come on down to Brooks Fine Jewelry and visit with us. We look forward to seeing you.
Welcome back. Here and There continues now. We're visiting with Amy Prince, who is the new executive director of Bethlehem House. First of all, congratulations on the new gig.
Thank you.
I know you have been involved in nonprofits a lot, and your story is different from Judy's, where she was in the professional world and then got into it. I know you have a professional background as well, but your nonprofit work has been something you've been a part of for a very long time. Judy mentioned that you are passionate about Bethlehem House. What is it about this mission that you're most passionate about?
It's similar to what Judy said. There's kind of always a story tied to it. With me, it was when I started volunteering there, started on the board. We were in the old house as well, and just seeing the work that was done there and the people who would come together and cram together in this tiny little kitchen to serve meals, and the people who were just so appreciative of it, it just kind of sticks with you. And so that's kind of where it started with me, was there as well. And then as those stories grew and I got closer to the people, it just kind of hangs on. One
of the things that I wanted to visit with you about it is the different services that you provide. So it's definitely a bed, it's a warm meal, it's an opportunity to not be on the streets, not to have that definition of homelessness. But there's so many more services that you provide to help people into the next stage of their life. Talk about that a minute.
Well, the mission of Bethlehem House is definitely we want to provide that safe environment, that bed, and then get them there. But what our long-term goals are is to equip them with everything they need to be able to be self-sufficient when they leave us. That's why it's up to 2 years. Okay. That sounds like a really long time, but when you're in the middle of that process, it goes by really fast. So while they're there, we address mental needs, we address physical needs, we make sure they go to the doctor. There's a long list of checklists they have to accomplish to get into a different phase. And then once that's completed, then their focus is on work and saving. They all have a savings account that we help them manage. Okay. And it's kind of hard to explain that to them at first because we're not keeping their money, it's theirs. Okay. We just help them decide, is that a good choice to spending it? Yeah. Is this where you want to spend that? So part of that is kept with us. They do keep some for themselves, and a little bit comes back to the house for an occupancy fee. Sure. But the big goal is to make sure that when they leave, we had a young man not too long ago that said, I can live on $50 a day. We're like, here
That's right.
you can.
That's right.
But out there, that's not realistic, and so
Yeah.
it's training and learning and relearning sometimes those skills.
As a community, what can we do? What can Conway do to continue helping the mission of Bethlehem House?
We have so many great partnerships. Banks really help us in the
Yeah.
financial aspect of it. They come, they teach classes, they help us there. Just that community support and knowing and constantly keeps going, because it's a pretty expensive project
Yeah, I would
to keep
imagine.
running. So financially is always helpful. We have programs like our 365, where any individual or business can give $50 a month for forever,
Right.
hopefully, but because we are open 365 days
Sure.
a year, that also makes us unique to other organizations, as we don't close. We're open every single day. Services, including those for our non-residents, go every single day of the year.
So event-wise, I know that you always have events throughout the year,
Always.
and November is a busy time for you all.
November has seemed to be, as I looked yesterday at all that's going on, and we have, again, speaking of community sports, Skinny Jays. The whole month of November is going to, if you eat a burger there, they're going to give part of the money to us, as
Okay.
well as offer opportunities to give more. Total Tire is doing, get your oil changed. It's a great time in November, because they're going to also give back part of that. But we also have our big pancake breakfast at Stobie's.
Okay.
Everybody loves pancakes from Stokey's. So you can come out there on November 20th. And this year, we have a Bago tournament. So on the day before that, on November 19th, we're going to be out at UCA. We're going to have a little Bago tournament to raise funds. And Centennial Bank's actually a sponsor for that, so in patty cake. So we're excited.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's definitely plenty to do.
Yes, plenty to do, plenty to do. And a good resource is your website. It's bethlehemhouse.net.
BethlehemHouse.net and our Facebook page. We're trying to always keep that fresh and make sure that everybody knows what's going on all the time.
Good. Well, I think Bethlehem House is in good hands. Congratulations.
Thanks. It's definitely some big shoes to fill, and keeps me up at night sometimes, but I'm excited about the opportunity.
Well, good luck. Good
Thanks.
luck. Good to see you. We'll have more on Here and There in just a moment.
Hi, Conway. This is Jeff Brooks at Brooks Fine Jewelry. Thank you once again for voting for Brooks Fine Jewelry for Best of in Conway. This is the factory store. There's always something new and innovative here at Brooks Fine Jewelry. We can now engrave the nameplates for anybody that wishes to acquire them, and we're here to engrave anything you have. Any items that you wish to engrave, bring them on in. Brooks Fine Jewelry is now exhibiting original art and limited edition prints by Patrick Shane Wilson. So come on down to Brooks Fine Jewelry and visit with us. We look forward to seeing you.
Here and There continues now. We are joined by our friend Stephanie Brazil. She's the editor of 501 Life magazine, and the new issue is out, and it is absolutely beautiful, colorful
Thank you.
cover. And you had me at charcuterie board, but then you really had me at caramel apples, chocolates, fruits, and sweet treats.
It's that
Come
time of year
on.
when we're
Yeah.
all craving all those treats
Right.
and looking forward to Thanksgiving, when we're going to have special thing, and then going into Christmas. So,
Yeah.
so
Well,
yeah.
the cover looks beautiful, so
Thank you.
it'd be easy to spot and pick one up. Inside the magazine is a story of a man that I've been a fan of and admired for a very, very long time. John Hutchcraft up at Guy Perkins. The Tribute to a Thunderbird is the name of the story about Coach.
So our theme for the month is the sweet life, and we have filled it with stories that are really sweet, or people who have done things that have impacted Central Arkansas in such a great way. And he retired after 40 years, and as you know, won more basketball games than any other high school coach. And so they had a big ceremony up there and honored him. County judge was there, the police department honored him there, the superintendent. He also received the Arkansas Diamond Award, which is the highest ranking award that a private citizen can receive because of all the kids he impacted.
Well, the stories about him were amazing. I always loved that for years and years and years he coached both the boys and the girls teams. And so he would finish with the girls' game and then rush into the locker room and get the boys ready and then come back, and in most nights winning both games as well, because you talked about his success. So that'll be interesting to read. And of course, he's the dad of Ashley Hutchcraft, who is our Lady Cats head coach. So definitely a tie here too. The youth of the month is a sweetheart of swine. A sweetheart of swine is a different title. Tell me about this.
So Riley Homan is a young lady from Valonia who started showing pigs
Okay.
at the county fair when
Okay.
she was 5 years old, and she has won the showmanship award, that champion showmanship award, every year. She's now a senior, and she even won it at the Arkansas State Fair, so we were able to slip that in right under press deadline. So she's really talented and knows how to show them. She says she has more control that way. It's not dependent on the pig, it's about how she shows the pig.
Okay.
And also she teaches younger kids how to do this. She shares her abilities and skills, and so somebody we should respect and appreciate, a young
Absolutely.
lady, Riley Homan.
Sweetheart of swine, I love it. The annual Rural Fire Show was held recently here in Conway, honoring firefighters from around the state. I've been around here a long time. Unfortunately, I'm not familiar with this. So tell me about this particular event and what we can read about.
They had more than 650 firefighters, volunteer firefighters,
Okay.
come from around the state
Yeah.
to this event, and the state put it on, the
Okay.
Department of Ag. And they had Smokey the Bear there, they fed them, they had giveaways, and also some training for some of the more rural areas that need to know about new equipment.
Okay.
And we wanted to mention this because they are heroes.
Yes.
And 90% of the firefighters around the state who are ready to help us are volunteers.
90%.
That's what my
Wow.
reporter learned.
Wow, I had no idea. That's
I didn't
incredible.
either.
Because you're right. Our state, we've got our big cities, and they're different, varying sizes, but the majority of our state is very rural. And to be able to get to a lot of those places is difficult. And so it's those volunteer firefighters. That's a great story. I'm glad that you brought,
Thank you.
brought a spotlight on them. I love this next story too. When I was reading through the notes that you sent, volunteers in Bologna making sure that all children sleep in a heavenly place, and it means their own bed. Tell me more and what we'll learn.
Tammy Wright is the director of the chapter of Sleep in Heavenly Peace in Bologna. She is spreading that into Conway. She's
Okay.
working on that right now. There are 314 chapters nationally
Okay.
and 4 in Arkansas, and they basically want to make sure that no child sleeps on the floor. Their motto is no child sleeps on the floor in our town.
Okay.
So they get together and they build beds, sturdy, nice beds, sometimes bunk beds when a couple are needed, and then deliver those, assemble them in the home for the kids along with bedding, just to make sure that those kids have a bed. And they say it elevates their self-esteem when they have their own place, their own bed. So it's very touching,
Yeah.
and it's also very needed and practical. She said within 5 hours of putting that application online in Bologna, she had like 7 applications
Wow.
just that quickly.
There's so many needs. I would have never thought. I would have never thought that there were kids who had to sleep on the floor because they didn't have beds. We visited with Judy Lively and Amy Prince about homelessness and how Bethlehem House helps. But this isn't a homelessness situation. They're living in a home. They just don't have a place to sleep other than the floor.
We were fortunate that a single mom was willing to talk to our writer, and she has 2 kids who are sleeping on pallets. They have 1 bed in the house, but the kids are so excited they're about
Yeah.
to get their own beds.
Well, it's a sweet story, as it turns out, just like you'd mentioned. And the Main Stage Education series, bringing sweet smiles, sweet there again, to students from 29 counties. Tell me about the Main Stage Education series.
You know, over at Reynolds
Yeah.
Performance Hall, Amanda and Wendy, they do phenomenal work, and the whole team over there. I had no idea, but get this, since 2015, more than 52,000 students from 29 counties have come here to Conway to experience the theater. More than 52,000 students, and we know that didn't happen during
Unbelievable,
COVID.
sure.
So it's just great to know they want kids from around the state, from the rural areas, to come in and enjoy the theater, and then also hopefully experience a college campus
Yes.
and want to return in the future. So they have a series of programs geared for kids, and they also reach out to kids with special needs and disabilities as well. They have some programs that are safe for them. So it's just a really great program right here in Conway.
Yeah, very cool. Lots to read in this month's issue of 501 Life magazine. And of course, you can learn more online always at 501lifemag.com.
Hi Conway, this is Jeff Brooks at Brooks Fine Jewelry. Thank you once again for voting for Brooks Fine Jewelry for Best of in Conway. This is the factory store. There's always something new and innovative here at Brooks Fine Jewelry. We can now engrave the nameplates for anybody that wishes to acquire them, and we're here to engrave anything you have. Any items that you wish to engrave, bring them on in. Brooks Fine Jewelry is now exhibiting original art and limited edition prints by Patrick Shane Wilson. So come on down to Brooks Fine Jewelry and visit with us. We look forward to seeing you.
Welcome back to Here and There. Joining us now, we're excited to have Conway High Lady Cats head coach Ashley Hutchcraft, and the high school basketball season is upon us here in November. And Coach, you're coming off a year that saw you finish as the 6A Central regular season champs and going undefeated in conference play. So definitely something to continue to build off of going into this year.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's any secret that we were very upset about the way the season ended, and we're trying to build off of, just like you said. We went 14-0 in conference. We only lost one game in Arkansas, and we're nationally ranked the entire season, and so there was a lot of good things that happened. But we definitely didn't end it the way we wanted. So we kind of have a chip on our shoulder, and, honestly, we've just trying to been focused one day at a time, just one practice at a time, not look ahead. And that's really hard to do, but we are excited about this year. We have 4 amazing seniors, and, a lot of people that can go with them and that can, really play basketball. So it should be a good year.
Coach, let's talk about one of those seniors. Chloe Clardy is the reigning Gatorade Player of the Year. Everybody knows about Chloe. They all try to game plan for Chloe. Can you talk about her contributions since her starting time as a freshman?
Yeah, I mean, goodness, Chloe's been around the program since she was a little kid. So like a kindergartner, first grader. So, I can remember we were just always looking forward to Chloe's group, and and then now she's a senior. She's, next week she's going to be signing a national letter of intent to Stanford. It's one of the best women's basketball programs ever. But I think, just like I always say, the thing that makes Chloe so special is there is just this sense of genuineness about her. I mean, she is just a genuine young lady. She cares about the game. She cares about her teammates. She cares about me. She cares about Coach Johnson. She just has just this humbleness about her. And there's, without question, that's the reason she's going to Stanford. Because, obviously she's a great player, but it just can't stop there. She is the total package. So we are looking forward to having her one more year, but we are excited for her. We're going to watch her play on TV one day. And, I know she's always going to remember Conway and where she came from.
Coach, I know your opponents will get tired of hearing this, but beyond Chloe, your team is really loaded with talent. You've got a mix of seniors and folks that contributed as freshmen last year. Let's talk about that mix for this year.
Sure. We talk a lot about Chloe and signing with Stanford. Then we have Savannah next week, who's going to be signing with Auburn, which I think is, if you were around, 4 years ago when Savannah was a freshman, you probably would be like, no way she's going to Auburn. But she continually got better. She was this 6'4", didn't know how to carry her size, shoulders down, would walk into a crowd and be nervous, would be shy, because as a female, that's hard. That's hard to carry. That's hard to figure out at 13, 14 years old. And now she is, goodness, she's the life of our practice. She walks in, her shoulders back, she is confident, and every year she has matured on and off the floor. So, for us in Arkansas, she is hard to deal with her and Chloe. And then you've got Caden Beckwith, who came off the bench last year, and then Camille Brown. And both of those girls have been vital to our success, our wins. They come in, they're just like Chloe with the high character. They come in every day ready to work. They're team first people. So I think we're just, for those 4 seniors, you know, looking at last year to this year, I think that's the thing that I've really challenged them with is you 4, you've been here, you've done this, you know, this is your 3rd or 4th year, just giving them that responsibility. And then you have Emery Bohannon, Alexis Cox, you know, those 2 young ladies gave us, you know, they won games for us last year. They came in and genuinely won the game for us. If they're not on our team, we don't win those games. You know, they have a year experience. We just got Lex back from volleyball, so it's going to take her a little bit of time to get going. But, you know, before it's said and done, those 2 ladies are going to be doing big things for us.
Coach, every year you have a target on your back and
Sure.
are expected to compete for a conference title and a state championship run. And we all know that those are goals, obviously, for this team this year. But what else are you focused on as a team as the season's about to tip off?
Sure. You know, last year was traumatizing. You know, I think that's the difference between basketball or football or volleyball. Basketball's got that March Madness where crazy things can happen. It's not always the bigger, faster, stronger team. And, you know, I could probably write a book on just that one game of all the crazy things that happened in that day that just didn't go in our favor. So I'll be honest with you, for the people that played in that game or a part of that team, kind of getting over that, and me too, it's been such a challenge. I would venture to say that all of us went through a little bit of depression, just battling through that loss. And but we learned a lot of things from it. You know, we won every game in Arkansas, 10 or plus, except one game against North Little Rock. But if you look at our season as a whole, typically Conway basketball in the years that we've been in the state championship game in February, we're unstoppable. I mean, we are hitting on all cylinders. I mean, those last couple conference games were really, really good. If you look at last year, we were not very good at all. We were just winning games. You know, if you look at even the North Little Rock game, but I take the Bryant game, you know, we were down at halftime. We were not playing good basketball. So one of the things that we learned from it, for 2 years, we've been peaking at the wrong time. And that's hard when you're nationally ranked, when you're trying, you know, if you lose a game, you're not going to be nationally ranked coming out of Arkansas. It's just not going to happen. So we kind of had that burden on our shoulders all year long. You know, if we lose, we're out. We're out of the national rankings. And we were honestly focused on the wrong thing. And I felt like we were playing our best basketball in late December. At the Sandra Meadows Classic, I mean, we were really, really good. And then we come home and we're winning every conference game by 10 or plus. And we just went on this downhill slope. And so this summer, this preseason, which is really hard as a coach, I've tried to just really press the brake. We didn't go to any camps over the summer. All we did was work out at home, weight room, on the court. Our girls play, you know, AAU basketball, but I just really tried to focus on just let's peak at a better time. If we have to take some shots early in the year, even some losses, that's okay. And that's hard because we're already nationally ranked. You know, they came out, we're ranked number 11th in the country and we haven't played a game. So it's going to be hard for us and it's going to be hard for me, but I think we've just got to focus on where do we want to be at the end. And if that takes a couple losses, couple learning lessons early, we got to be okay with that. So that's kind of been our focus since the loss.
She's Conway High Lady Cats head coach Ashley Hutchcraft, and basketball season, it's here. It's November. It's time.
Yeah, it's
Coach,
here.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks for watching Here and There this month. If you've got a story idea for us, we would love to hear it. Just email us at hereandthere@conwaycorp.com.